92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this evening, NLC protests sack of Kaduna workers. Renaud Mokri threatens to start protest in Paris, France, where President Buhari traveled to on Sunday. Attack on a Northern police station in Abia. And on the foreign scene, France, Egypt joined to call for end to Israel-Gaza violence. I am Carl Orakwue with the news. Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) today protested the recent sack of over 7,000 civil servants by the Kaduna State government. The NLC National Chairman Ayuba Waba during the protest said due process was not observed in the recent sack of the workers.
Comrades, the information that we have that they have been putting before the public, which is false, which I need to correct, is why I am here live and direct. He claimed that local government employees were consulted, and they are here. They have issued a formal statement to say that that statement was false. As we speak, all leadership of public sector unions that are affected by this neoliberal policy of throwing workers out of their jobs without respecting the clear provisions of our labor laws. It's only Kaduna State that threw workers out of their jobs without respecting the provisions of our laws.
Aviation workers shut down the Kaduna International Airport at midnight in solidarity with the protest. The workers said the airport will remain shut for the period of the warning strike. Reacting to the protest, the Kaduna State Head of Service, Bariatu Mohammed, said the state government will stand with its decision to downsize.
What is happening now in Kaduna is not an industrial action, but a campaign of social and economic sabotage. Kaduna State government is functioning despite the illegal attempts to block our offices, hospitals and schools, and it will not change our intention to use the Trade Union Act, which prohibits strike by essential service workers. Kaduna State has still not established the number of staff that are being disengaged. We are doing a physical verification exercise of persons and credentials. So as soon as we establish the number of workers to be disengaged, we'll inform everybody. We are not backing out. That's our position.
A former aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Renaud Mokri, has threatened to start a protest in Paris, France, where President Muhammadu Buhari traveled to on Sunday. Mokri, who led the hashtag Harass Buhari out of London protests last month, said he will be forced to begin another protest with the hashtag Harass Buhari out of Paris should the president not return to the country where he's most needed due to the security situation. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has imposed a curfew on 2 communities following the communal clash that claimed 3 lives on Sunday. Secretary to the state government, Professor Solo Chukwulobulu, said the curfew will run from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. until further notice. At least 3 houses were burnt and about 9 persons, including a former chief judge in the state, were injured during the clash. About 2 police officers have been killed following an attack on a police station in Abia State. The gunmen invaded the police facility early this morning, razed the station and burnt some vehicles. The police spokesperson in Abia State, Geoffrey Ogbonna, spoke to newsmen on this.
One of our divisions in Umar Hassan local government, Obakala division, came under attack. When the gunmen tried to find a way into the division, they met a very strong resistance, which now made them to attack from all flanks, considering the location of that police station. They besieged the police station, firing explosives, which ignited fire that burnt the station and the DPO's office.
Still listening to the major news on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Port Harcourt. Still ahead, 4 young men killed by gunmen in Orakwue, Kana local government area of Rivers State over the weekend. Do stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. 4 young men from Orakwue in Kana local government area of Rivers State were killed by gunmen after the community was invaded over the weekend. Our correspondent gathered that two of the affected young men have been identified as Lekarabira, a 32-year-old, and a 40-year-old Twoka, while two of them are yet to be identified. The Public Relations Officer of the Community Development Committee of Orakwue, Golden Mwibakbo, in an interview with our correspondent, condemned the incessant killings in the community.
Where government invaded Orakwue community and killed about 4 youths. Our pain is that these 4 youths are non-members of any known core group, and so we are appalled by this scenario. There is no human being. Women, youths, old men are roaming about the streets in Buri, and the whole community is deserted. Police station there, which I think if it is done, it can curb or reduce the crime there. But if the road is being done, it can help the police security men to move around the area all the time. So we are appealing to stakeholders, everybody in Rivers State, Nigeria, to come to the aid of Orakwue community.
When contacted, authorities at the Rivers State Police Command says it is yet to be informed of the killings. And most checkpoints along the Orakwue to Elele axis of Ikwere local government area are still unmanned about 3 weeks after gunmen killed police officers on that axis. Our correspondents who visited the area reports that only 2 checkpoints had security agents present, while the rest were only barricaded with tires and drums. In business, the World Economic Forum announced today that it had called off its planned annual gathering of global, political, economic and business leaders, which had been set for August in Singapore. The forum said it is impossible to convene an in-person meeting this year due to the uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting is traditionally held each January in the Swiss Alpine village of Davos, but it has already been shifted several times due to the coronavirus crisis. In entertainment, rapper J. Cole says he's no longer trying to compete with his colleagues. The rapper paid a visit to the ETC's podcast with Kevin Durant and Eddie Gonzalez, where he reflected on his career and relationship with fellow rappers Drake and Kendrick Lamar, which he says has evolved over time. The Grammy Award-winning rapper said he has learned to value friendship over competitiveness. And sports, Belgium have revealed their squad for Euro 2020 with Real Madrid's Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku named among the team. Former Tottenham and Arsenal centre-backs Jan Vertonghen and Thomas Vermaelen are also included in the squad ahead of the tournament, which begins on June 11. Belgium are the top seed in Group B and face Russia in their opening game on June 12 before facing Denmark and Finland.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
France and Egypt have joined in a call for an end to the violence between Israel and Palestinian militants in Gaza. French President Emmanuel Macron and his Egyptian counterpart Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said they share a deep worry about the ongoing escalation of violence and the many civilian victims. They also agreed to coordinate efforts towards brokering a rapid ceasefire, with officials from Egypt, Qatar, the US and the UN working to end the crisis. That story from Egypt does it here on the news this evening. But before we go, here's a quick look at the major stories. Earlier on, we told you the NLC have protested the sack of Kaduna workers. Renaud Mokri has threatened to start a protest in Paris, France, where President Buhari traveled to on Sunday. You heard, and there's been another attack on the police station in Abia. And from the foreign team, we brought you a report that France, Egypt have joined the call for an end to Israel-Gaza violence. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. To contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017 for breaking news stories and eyewitness reports. Cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt later on. Good evening.